While everyone watched Tesla break records and grab headlines, something bigger was happening behind the scenes. A company nobody paid attention to was quietly building an empire, one piece at a time, one breakthrough after another. BYD just revealed a new kind of engine and battery system that could make gas cars and even some electric cars completely outdated. This breakthrough means you could soon drive farther, spend less on fuel or charging, and have more reliable choices than ever before. But how did BYD outsmart Tesla and the traditional car companies? What mistakes are the big brands still making that could cost drivers thousands? And why could this shift make buying a car in the next few years totally different for you? Stay with us, because understanding this story might save you thousands and change how you think about the future of driving forever. Everything changed in the city of Xi'an, a place steeped in history and rebellion. It was there that BYD dropped a bombshell so significant that it sent shockwaves rippling across the entire automotive world. The unveiling of their fifth-generation dual-mode system was not merely another product launch, it was a moment of quiet devastation for every company betting against them. The company did not just improve on existing technology, they fundamentally reimagined what a hybrid engine could be. Attendees who expected incremental updates witnessed something entirely different. Engineers, journalists, and rival executives sat stunned as the specifications rolled out, a hybrid system that boasted the highest thermal efficiency ever recorded in a mass-market vehicle. It was so long it sounded like science fiction. This was not marketing bravado, this was math, engineering, and execution. What BYD revealed was not an evolution, it was a new species altogether. Gone was the notion that hybrids were simply a halfway point to full electric vehicles. BYD's creation outclassed many pure electric vehicles while erasing the biggest anxiety drivers still harbored: range limitations. In one stunning stroke, BYD did what Tesla had avoided. They embraced the complexity of combining electric and combustion power, then perfected it. A dual strategy that Tesla dismissed was now shaping up to be BYD's masterstroke. Before that day, most assumed that hybrid technology was yesterday's news. After the fifth-generation reveal, it became clear that hybrids could very well be the bridge that led to the full electrification of the world. The numbers were mind-bending, yet what truly mattered was not the data. It was the emotion. Experts who had spent decades building their reputations around existing rules suddenly realized they were obsolete. As applause echoed through the hall in Xi'an, a far more significant noise was rising beyond the stage, the crumbling of an old order. When news began circulating about the thermal efficiency of BYD's new system, skepticism was the first response. 46.06% thermal efficiency, it sounded absurd. Engineers knew that reaching even 40% had taken traditional automakers decades of relentless refinement. For context, Formula One engines, costing millions of dollars and tuned for mere minutes of operation, barely achieved 50% efficiency. Yet here was BYD offering nearly the same performance in vehicles designed for everyday families. This was not a marginal gain, it was a quantum leap. Fuel is inherently wasteful in traditional combustion engines. Only a fraction of gasoline's energy turns into motion. The rest becomes useless heat. BYD's breakthrough flipped that dynamic. Drivers would now be paying for energy that actually moved them forward, not energy that evaporated uselessly into the air. The real-world consequences were staggering: less fuel consumed, longer trips taken, less environmental impact, and lower operating costs for millions of families worldwide. BYD's hybrid wasn't just an efficient machine, it was an economic weapon for consumers. Beyond the laboratory numbers, this efficiency changed the ownership experience itself. Forget tedious fuel stops every few hundred miles. Imagine driving across entire countries without ever searching for a charging station or a gas pump. The dream of mass electric mobility had always been constrained by compromises. BYD had erased half of them in a single blow. Still, the story was not just about better numbers, it was about a smarter philosophy. BYD proved that innovation did not have to be flashy to be transformative. Sometimes the quietest changes were the ones that overturned the world. As these realities sank in, one uncomfortable truth emerged among Tesla executives and traditional automakers alike. They had been chasing the wrong metrics. We dug deep to uncover the hidden shifts reshaping the industry, and if that shortcut helped you see the future faster, hit subscribe and back us up. Yet, efficiency alone was not enough to change the future. A deeper miscalculation had been unfolding, one that exposed a blind spot no one had dared to acknowledge until now. Tesla built its empire on the idea that pure electric vehicles were inevitable, batteries would improve, chargers would proliferate, and consumers would fall in line. It was not a bad bet, but it was an incomplete one. By betting everything on full electrification, Tesla assumed that consumer behavior would shift faster than technological reality could deliver. Meanwhile, BYD took the opposite view. Transition, not revolution, would define the next 2 decades. Instead of demanding consumers leap into a new world, BYD built a bridge toward it. Their hybrids, anchored by revolutionary efficiency, allowed drivers to enjoy the best of both worlds without anxiety or sacrifice. While Tesla raced to build more supercharger stations, BYD quietly gave drivers vehicles that could bypass the need for one entirely. While Elon Musk tweeted about robo-taxis and Martian colonies, Wang Chuanfu and his engineers doubled the range of everyday life. What Tesla misjudged was not just technology, it was human nature. Consumers crave convenience more than ideology, freedom more than purity, and security more than experimentation. As Tesla pushed harder toward an all-electric vision that still felt risky to many, BYD offered certainty, range, and reassurance. The contrast could not have been sharper. And as buyers flocked toward the safer, smarter choice, a new realization spread through the global auto industry. Tesla's dominance was no longer inevitable. It was being challenged not by another dreamer, but by a doer who had one more secret weapon still to reveal. In the world of electric vehicles, batteries are not just components, they are the battlefield. For years, heavy and expensive lithium-ion batteries ruled, tolerated for their flaws. Automakers accepted inefficiencies as the price of progress, but BYD saw opportunity where others saw defeat. Instead of tweaking the old formula, they threw it out completely. The Blade battery was not a simple improvement, it was a revolution. Long, slim cells stretched across the pack like swords sheathed inside armor, eliminating wasted space and bulky frames. The result? About 50% more energy density, stronger structural integrity, and lighter weight compared to traditional lithium iron phosphate systems. Every design choice followed one command: do not just store energy, master it. BYD also defied chemical norms, rejecting nickel-manganese cobalt in favor of lithium iron phosphate, a cheaper, more stable, dramatically safer chemistry. While competitors clung to volatile formulas, BYD proved their durability through brutal stress tests. When nails were driven into the Blade battery, it neither smoked, burned, nor exploded. It simply remained silent, unbothered, commanding respect. More than a battery, the Blade became a structural element of the car itself, increasing crash safety and reducing system complexity. In a market obsessed with range anxiety and battery recalls, BYD engineered a different kind of weapon trust. But the Blade was only the beginning. Underneath BYD's quiet rise was a second, even more powerful secret: an intelligence system designed not just to react but to evolve. The mind behind the machine: Xuanji, DeepSeek, and DiPilot. In most cars, the brain is a fragmented mess. Different processors managing different systems, constantly translating signals like a room full of toddlers trying to organize a parade. BYD found that unacceptable. They built the Xuan architecture, a unified neural center that sees, thinks, and acts instantly. Where conventional vehicles need milliseconds to reroute a braking command through several mini-brains, BYD's system responds almost immediately. All sensors, cameras, radar, and millimeter waves report to one mind, not dozens. That unity means no hesitation, no confusion. The vehicle sees the world holistically and adapts in real time. Xuanji turned fast reflexes into something rarer: unshakable confidence. Yet even the sharpest brain needs instinct. That is where DeepSeek artificial intelligence takes over. DeepSeek is not a static program. It is a living system. Every BYD vehicle equipped with it becomes a learning platform. Lessons from one car navigating a Beijing storm are instantly absorbed by others in Sydney or Berlin. DeepSeek does not just react, it anticipates, adapts, evolves. It recognizes submerged lane markers after floods. It detects pedestrians emerging from behind trucks before human drivers even notice. It adjusts to your driving style, your habits, your patterns, becoming not just a machine but a companion. And unlike competitors that gatekeep advanced tech behind luxury models, BYD weaponized accessibility. With the launch of DiPilot, BYD brought self-driving features once reserved for six-figure cars into models costing less than $10,000. Top-end Pilot 600 versions deploy triple light detection and ranging units for centimeter-precise environmental mapping. Entry-level versions still outperform many so-called autonomous systems found in vehicles 3 times the price. High-speed navigation on autopilot, automated valet parking, and memory navigation technologies once built for billionaires became everyday realities. Luxury automakers scrambled. Tesla found itself outpaced, not by another Silicon Valley giant, but by an electric empire built in China, expanding faster, smarter, and more democratically. BYD did not just tweak the market, they detonated it, because when revolutionary technology stops being rare and starts being common, everything changes. And BYD quietly but relentlessly is writing the future where mastery, safety, intelligence, and accessibility are no longer luxuries but expectations. Tesla's reaction scrambling to regain the lead. The moment the news from Xi'an broke, Tesla's headquarters in Palo Alto shifted from confidence to concern. Inside glass conference rooms overlooking Silicon Valley, senior executives pored over technical papers, earnings reports, and leaked efficiency data from BYD. The numbers did not lie. Tesla had built its empire on the promise that full electric vehicles would soon dominate every street, every city. Yet, here was BYD, not only challenging that timeline but offering a bridge that consumers trusted more immediately. Ultra-efficient hybrids that needed no new infrastructure, no range anxiety, and no compromises. Within days, emergency meetings were called. Whisper networks spread across Tesla's engineering teams. Questions previously unthinkable now floated openly. Should Tesla reconsider hybrids? Could a dual strategy preserve their dominance? Musk himself, known for his bravado, went silent on social media regarding BYD. Instead, Tesla's moves became visible through their decisions: slashed prices, rushed software updates, accelerated timelines for new model releases. Investors grew restless. Analysts asked pointed questions during earnings calls. How would Tesla respond to a threat they had so arrogantly ignored? Inside Tesla, there was a growing realization that they had been outmaneuvered. Not by flashier technology, but by humility, precision, and adaptability. BYD had done what Tesla refused to: meet consumers where they were, rather than demand they leap ahead on faith. Still, Tesla was not the only empire now standing on shaky ground. Across the Atlantic, the boardrooms of Mercedes-Benz buzzed with discomfort. Plans that had once charted a glorious all-electric future by the year 2030. And that's a wrap on today's deep dive into BYD's groundbreaking advancements in the automotive world. If you found this insightful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more updates on the future of transportation. We'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. What do you think about BYD's rise and its impact on the industry? Until next time, stay curious and keep driving